This practice is specifically designed to help you stretch out your legs. Begin in a kneeling position and then begin to step your right foot forward, bringing the leg to a 90-degree angle, right knee over right ankle. Take your hands to the floor and tuck the back toes under, walking the left leg a little bit further back, giving yourself a deeper length in the body. Take your hips back over the left leg and lengthen through your right leg, stretching out the hamstrings. If you can't get to the floor, take your hands to your thigh or to your shin if you need to be up just a little bit higher. If you can, bring your hands to the floor. Lengthen the spine, find as much space as you can, and then begin to walk your hands forward, folding over your right leg. Taking a few slow, deep breaths, just letting the body release into it so that you feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Then begin to bring your right knee forward, lengthening through the back leg. Take your hips back and straighten your right leg, and then bring your knee forward once again, straightening through the back leg a little bit more. Inhale and exhale as you move from one pose to the other, following your breath. Do about 3 to 5 sets of these, letting the legs warm up and stretch out. Finish your last one, then bring your knee forward and tuck your left toes under, lifting the left knee off the ground, lengthening through the back of the left leg. Come up onto your fingertips and then exhale the knee back to the ground. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale it, take it to the ground. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, the knee comes back down to the ground. Inhale, lift the knee up. And exhale it down. Inhale, lift the knee up one more time. And then exhale, the knee comes to the ground. Begin to walk your hands and your hips back so your hips are back over your left leg, and fold forward, maybe a little deeper this time, trying to take your forehead towards the shin. Find as much space as you can, letting the pose remain active. Come up onto your fingertips and lengthen the spine, and take your knee back underneath your hip. From there, take your left leg forward and bring your hands to your thigh. And then take your hands to the floor and extend your left leg forward as you walk the right knee back a little bit more. Lengthen through the spine and come up onto your fingertips. And if you need to be up higher, go ahead and take your hands to your thigh or maybe to your shin. If you're able to comfortably reach the floor, bring your hands to the floor and lengthen the spine. Begin to fold forward a little deeper if you can, or hold it right where you are if that's as far as you can go. If you are able to go deeper, walk your hands forward a bit more. Keep lengthening the spine. And then begin to bend the left knee, lengthening through the back leg. And extend the left leg as you take the hips back, come forward. And then take the hips back, once again extending the left leg, and come forward with your inhale. Exhale, take the hips back. So repeat here a couple more times, just like you did on the other side, and do the same number of times on each side. So if you want to do a few more or a few less, you can try to keep it even so that both sides get the same amount. Tuck your back toes under, lift the right knee off the ground, lengthen the spine, and exhale the right knee down. Inhale, lift the right knee. Exhale it down. Lift the right knee and exhale it down. Inhale to lift. And exhale as you bring the knee back down to the ground. Come up onto your fingertips, lift the knee one more time, and then exhale it down. Begin to take your hips back, straightening through your left leg, and fold over that left leg once again. Maybe going a little deeper if you can this time. And once again, if you like to make any soft movements here, you can go right ahead, trying to make the pose a little more active. Begin to come out of your pose. Walk your hands back and bring the knee back underneath your hip. Come back to kneeling, and I'm just going to change sides so you can see me better. Take your right leg out to the side, once again at a 90-degree angle. This time you're turning it straight out. Inhale, reach the left arm up and begin to bend towards the right side. You can place your right elbow on your leg right above the knee and just feel the stretch in the side of your ribs all the way into the fingertips. Take your hand back down to your hip and extend the leg forward this time, or out to the side rather, and bring your right hand to your hip as you extend through the left arm, bringing the left arm over as much as you can, feeling the stretch once again in your hamstrings. You can have the toes pointing straight forward like I have, or you can press the heel down and point the toes up towards the ceiling if that works better for you. Exhale, take your hand back down and bring your knee underneath your hip once again. And let's switch sides. Take the left knee to the side, right hand to the hip, and then take your left elbow to the leg as you reach the right arm up and over, stretching to the left side. Feeling that length in the side of your body, just reaching as far as you can. Keep spinning the ribs open. And bring your hand back down, taking your right hand to your hip, extend through your left leg, and bring your left hand to your left hip. Reach up and over with the right arm, extending once again over to the right side, folding over your leg, feeling that stretch in the leg, in the hamstrings. And once again, the foot can either point forward or the toes can point straight up, your choice, depending on what kind of stretch you're looking for today. Inhale to come back up, bring your hands to the floor and come back to your knees. And come to stand at the center of your mat, separating your feet about 3 to 4 feet apart and turning the toes slightly in. Hands to the hips. Inhale the spine long and begin to fold to a flat back, bringing the hands to the floor, directly underneath your shoulders. Take a couple of breaths, just feeling length in the spine and in the backs of the legs, making sure you're keeping your legs straight. Begin to walk yourself over to the right side and start to bend the right knee. Go as deep as you can. You can have the hands on the floor to support you. See if you can take the hips all the way down and still keep that right heel on the ground as you straighten through the left leg and point the toes up. You can have one hand in front and one hand in back for balance. Working on stretching the left leg. Keep the left toes pointing up and try to keep the leg as straight as possible. And bring your hands to the floor in front of you. Inhale to come back up. Lengthen the spine as you come to center and begin to walk yourself over to the left foot. So same thing here. You can start to bend the left knee, going as deep as your body allows. Don't force it. If you're not getting all the way down, don't worry about it. It can take time to get there. If you're able to bring the hips down and still keep the heel on the ground, do that and take one hand in front, one in back so you can stay balanced in your pose. Remember to keep your right leg straight as the toes point up, keeping the foot slightly flexed. Bring your hands to the floor in front of you and inhale as you come back up to a flat back, lengthening through both arms. And then walk yourself over to the right side, this time turning the right foot at a 90-degree angle and turning the left foot in so the toes face the same direction as the back knee. Inhale, come up. You can take your hands to your thigh, to your shin, or to the mat. Keep the spine nice and long and wave the body straight, lining up your hips so one is not coming out further than the other one, and let yourself fold over the legs as much as you can without bending the knees. So you want to try to keep the legs as straight as possible. After 3 to 5 breaths, begin to walk yourself back to center, pivoting the feet so that they face forward, and then begin to walk yourself to the left side, turning the left foot 90 degrees and the right foot, once again, the toes facing the back knee. So you always want to line that up. Inhale, come up to your thigh, to your shin, or place your hands on the floor. Keep the spine long And once again, try to turn the hips so that they're even. And even if that means that you need to turn the back foot in a little bit more to get the hips to even out, you can do that. Remain here for 3 to 5 breaths. And then begin to walk your hands back towards the center, placing your hands underneath your shoulders and turning the feet so they face the front. Walk your hands forward without lifting the heels off the ground, and then take the hips back to line them over your legs, coming into an extended downward facing dog. The hands are at shoulder distance, the fingers are spreading, grip into the fingertips, and just feel that lengthening throughout the entire body, through the sides of your body and through your legs. Remain here for another breath. And then begin to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Come to your halfway point, take your hands to your hips and begin to come up to stand, jumping your feet in or walking them in if you prefer. Coming back into your standing pose, keeping your hands at your hips, begin to fold forward with a nice flat back. Bend your knees if you need to, and you can either take your hands to your legs or bring the hands all the way down to the floor. Once again, bend your knees and then take your arms behind the legs, grabbing onto opposite elbows and letting your head release towards the ground. So you want to bend the knees as deeply as you need to so that you feel the torso pressing into the thighs. Let your body release towards the earth. Take your hands to the floor. Inhale and straighten the legs if you can. If not, keep them slightly bending. And come into your forward fold for a couple more breaths. Slowly begin to roll yourself back up, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose, as we come to the end of this sequence.